What's up YouTube, Swex here, and today I'm going to give you a tour of my grand palace in my creative world. This is the first of several videos I'll be doing profiling each of the structures in this world. And we're going to start with the grand palace here, so we'll get right into it. I've got these sword and pickaxe here flanking the entrance. My cousin built the sword, I built the pickaxe. It just ended up kind of looking cool. And so around the palace, the palace grounds, you've got this wall here, and then I put this gate in. It's just an aesthetic thing. It doesn't really actually go up or down, but it's kind of just to keep people from getting in or out that probably shouldn't be in there. And I've made everything out of stone and nether brick and sandstone. You can see here I've got some fountains. But let's look at the overall shape of the building here. You got this front wing coming off of the front of it here. And then the tower in the back has this kind of rounded front, and then there's a little bit of a slanted back here. And the reason this thing is shaped the way it is because I built it around a mountain that already existed in this world. It was this huge plateau, just massive plateau that just went all the way up and had kind of a mushroom-shaped top. And then there was more plateau down here, so I just built the shell, the outer walls, in the shape of what was already there, including the tower. And then after that was built, I gutted it all the way down and then built the inside of the building. It took a while, but it was kind of an interesting thing. So let's start here in the front. You just got kind of a fountain here with some seats. A lot of this is before I really knew how to do some cool stuff with it, so it's all pretty basic, but you got more seats and a fountain here. You've got where the animals are being kept here in this nice corral, so the denizens of the palace can have their meat whenever they need it. Oh, one got out. Oh, nope, now it's back in. What the hell was that? Okay, so one of these sheep is possessed by Satan. We'll just go ahead and leave. We are not wanted here. I don't know what that was, but we're not wanted here. But as you can see, I put big windows in for parts of it, some skylights, littler windows in the tower, and then over here you've got some bigger windows. And then I kind of just did the stonework and the detail around the existing windows. And yeah, we'll go another pass around the back here. You just got this slanted wall. And then over here you've got more windows. It's almost like a skyscraper looking thing. And then here you've got a courtyard, which we'll actually visit on our way through the building. But this is more of a private courtyard for King and the Queen and whoever else to enjoy without being bothered. So let's head inside. Now we got the front here. You see I put Stone City Grand Palace. I put signs on everything. Now what I would have done differently had I known about it back then, I was a pretty big novice when I built this stuff. I might still go back and change out the doors for steel doors with pressure plates, or even just put pressure plates in for these. It's just easier without having to remember to shut the doors when you're done. So you come inside the palace, and we've got ourselves the front atrium area. There's a couple fountains here, a tree growing in here, a big glass pyramid to let plenty of natural sunlight in. And this would be considered the public wing of the palace, where, you know, the public could come in and do what they needed to do. There's some offices in here. Over here, we've got just a sitting area. I put benches and seats all around the hallways and stuff here. We got a big fireplace. It's like a two-way fireplace, so, you know, if you were suicidal, you could walk through it. That door goes to the main courtyard. We will deal with that later on. Now, another thing I didn't do here that I probably need to do is put handrails on the stairs in this place. None of the stairs have handrails, and that becomes problematic, as you'll see when we get to the tower. But there's a lot of work to be done to refine this into something better. So let's start with the first floor of the front wing here, because we've got a corridor that goes down. And that leads to the main tower. We won't go there yet. You got the Royal Guard headquarters, and there's some seats over here, obviously. And in the Royal Guard headquarters, this would be the headquarters for the guards that are stationed around the kingdom, obviously. You could come in here and file a report with them if you needed to. And then you've got the commander's office in here. It's just a small little office. Nothing fancy at all. I didn't really put a lot of work into this. I probably should go back and put some work into this, but there are other projects I'd like to get done first. And then you've got the interrogation rooms in here. Room 2, room 1, and they're just basic rooms where, you know, people would get interrogated if they were suspected of something. Those crazy, tricky people. Alright, so now we will head back to the main atrium and go up to the second floor of this wing here. Alright, so second floor. This is it kind of gets cooler up here. I put some more seating areas over here. Originally this was all green wool because I love green, but then I'm like, nah, you know what, nether brick might look a little bit better in a palace like this. So we just put a seating area here. Another balcony here that wraps around and goes behind the chimney to the fireplace. I'm a big fan of atriums, as you'll guess, and you'll be able to see from a lot of the projects I'm going to show off. I just love big open spaces. Alright, so on this area we have the infirmary, and this is, you know, where the residents of the palace, if they get sick or anything, they would come here to be nursed back to health. You can see it's kind of just a bunch of beds. And then in here, we've got like the most basic operating room ever. Just a table with chests that they'd keep their, you know, surgical instruments in, and there's nothing in them at all. I'll come back and probably refine these areas a little bit more now that there's more materials available to us. And there's a lot more potential available to us. And maybe I won't be so lazy with some of these. And then over here, you've got the doctor exam room, so the doctor could come in here and just examine an individual patient. And the public could come use this too. This isn't just for the palace. I thought about actually building a hospital building somewhere in the city. I have yet to do that. I will probably do that, just so that everybody else has a hospital. So over here, now you've got the third floor above us. This area takes up the second and third floors on this side of this wing. This is the Royal Cathedral, and this is where, you know, the people of the palace could come for mass or whatever. I put some crosses in the walls there. Glass ceiling. You can see the tower right above us there. Some pews here. You've got the little lectern area. More crosses here. Pretty basic. It's nothing fancy, but you do have some big windows that look out to the rest of the kingdom, so I kind of liked that. It seemed to work out really well. I was going to put some balconies on the third floor, but I opted not to because I thought, well, let's just leave it a big open cathedral. Royal weddings could be held here too, you know, whatever. So, up to the third floor of this wing we go. Oh, actually, I didn't show over here on the second floor. This is just a corridor that leads to the tower. There's no extra rooms or anything because that's the cathedral, so no doors there. And then same thing on the third floor, just another basic corridor leading to the tower. And then we've got the housing authority, so the public could come in here to fill out paperwork and do their thing to buy property or a house in the kingdom. You just basically got a long counter, some waiting areas, and then the purchase office in here to finalize your purchase. If you want to move to the kingdom, this is what you would have to do. You'd have to come over here and fill out your junk. And this is the doctor's quarters. This is where the doctor actually lives. This is his little apartment. Now, I have a lot of quarters in this palace, and they are all fairly similar just because I wanted to get them done. Some of them are unique. I'll show them off, but I'm not going to get too in-depth here. But you've got the bed, a desk, a couch, a bookshelf, and then each of the quarters has a bathroom with just a tub, a toilet, and a sink. But they are big tubs. So, you know, you could almost swim in those damn tubs, now that I really think about it. Alright, so now we will head on over and, you know, just head over here to the seating area that I've got up here. It's just like the other seating area, just for people to come and sit. If maybe you've got an appointment with the purchaser and the housing authority, but you don't want to wait in there, you could come wait out here or whatever. So now, oh, I forgot I can't fly over there because the railings are just not tall enough. We will head down to the first floor and go into the tower. And this tower is the main quarters for everybody else in the palace, the royal quarters, everything are here. And so here we go, into the tower. And I will first show you We've got this awesome atrium with stairways that just wrap up the entire thing. Chandeliers hanging down. I got to put some railings on these stairways so people don't fall and die. That's the first order of business. And I will get that done eventually. Again, you can see all the torches in here because this is originally supposed to be a medieval palace before the map became modern. But I digress. Let's head down to the basement first. The basement's cool. I like the basement. So you come into the basement, you've got kind of this lobby area here. The first area you'll find are the barracks, and this is where obviously the on-duty Royal Guard soldiers would sleep in here. And then I gotta put a sign up here. I don't know why I haven't done that, but these are just showers. I don't know how medieval showers would work, but I just put regular showers in because, you know, hell with it. But you got showers here, and then back here I kind of cram toilets and sinks in. It's not the most luxurious, but it does the job. And I put diamond on the floor. It's kind of like tile, I guess. Nothing fancy in here, but this is where the soldiers could sleep when they're rotating on and off shift. In here you've got the armory, and this is really nothing fancy either. It's just kind of like almost a storage area. And I actually did put weapons and armor in all of these chests. So, yeah. Forgot I did that. This would be a good survival map. I gotta probably light certain areas more because there would be creatures spawning in parts of this palace. In here you've got the forge where the palace blacksmith would work. And it's basically just, you know, crafting. It's a crafting area, and then I put a big forge in here just for show. But yeah, I think I put material in all of these. You got obsidian, glass, all sorts of stuff. Torches, flint and steels, arrows there. I don't know why I haven't put more in there. But yeah, this would be a good survival map now that I think about it. I've stocked this place well. And here's the laboratory. This is where the court wizard would do his thing, his or her thing. More crafting tables, and then I put this font in here that I guess would be like a font they could use to see into the future or do magic. I don't know. I just tried to fill the space, man. And then over here, we got the dungeon. This is where the troublemakers are brought, and they would actually theoretically be housed here until they were sent to court. And if they were sentenced, then they would be taken to the prison. But for now, I'll show you the dungeons. It's just a 2-story underground gig with very basic cells. Just a bed, a stone table, and a pooper. It's a hole with water in it. That's really all it is. It is as basic as you can get. And we will head. Here is the jailer's office. This is basically the warden of the dungeons. He or she would be stationed in here overseeing everybody. Now this here goes to the Stone City Courthouse, so they could be transported straight from the dungeon to the courthouse. It's an underground tunnel. We will actually go... I'll go into it, but I won't actually enter the courthouse. How about that? I'll at least show you the tunnel, because it's just as basic as you can get. And I actually did do the pressure plate thing here. But it winds all the way to the building. And I just kind of did this free form, like I winged it. And the courthouse, the basement of the courthouse is in there. But I will show you that in the courthouse video. So to continue, heading down to the lower levels of the dungeons here, we've just got more cells. Same basic cells, really. Just a table, a pooper here, and then a bed. Nothing too fancy, really, at all. And then the bars, obviously. This is more of a temporary solution to criminals until they can be housed in the prison. Or transferred out of the kingdom to another prison elsewhere if they're wanted elsewhere. Whatever it takes. So let's head up to the first floor. You've got that door there that goes out to the courtyard. We will actually end the tour out there just because it's kind of a good way to loop back around. Here we have the palace kitchen. And none of the apartments in here have kitchens because they would all just get their food delivered from this main kitchen. Crafting tables, chests, cutting boards, cabinets, sinks, refrigerator. I assume these would be like grills or something. I can't remember what I intended for those, but you got ovens here, an island. In here you've got the pantry, which is just a bunch of chests. Nothing fancy in there at all. And then over here, I believe we've got an apartment. A lot of the apartments are the same. Really, they are. I just wanted to fill it. This is the chef's quarters. So the main chef lives in here. And they have their bed, desk, chests, couches, bookshelves, and then their bathroom with the big old tub, sink, and toilet. And in a side note to this, I put so many paintings in this building that I'm actually not allowed to put any more in my world. Between this and the university, I put way too many paintings in. Alright, second floor. Second floor. Moving right along. Moving right along. In the second floor, we've got the Royal Library. Is the Royal Library. It's 2 stories, so the second and third floor of this side of the building are taken up with the library. Got a little check-in desk, some sitting areas on the first level, bookshelves all over the place, and then that leads to this third floor. Now there's a leak in here because I've got something above this. If you only got one layer of blocks, it leaks, unfortunately. I don't like it, but it's good for when you're digging underground, so you know there's water above you. And I'm pretty sure that's why they did it, to alert you, hey, don't dig up, you'll drown. So I can live with it just because of what it is. Here we have the commander's quarters. This would be the commander of the Royal Guard, and it's just another basic apartment like the other ones. Nothing fancy really, so I won't delve too deep into this, but that's what it is. It's the Royal Guard Commander's headquarters. Alright, so now we're up to the third floor. Third floor is that second level of the Royal Library, so I won't delve into that. And then we've got the librarian's quarters up here, where the librarian would live. I did put some more books in here just because it's the librarian, so, you know, I figured they'd want books in their apartment. Got a bathroom here, nothing fancy. None of this is really that fancy. I built this as a complete Minecraft noob. Fourth floor. Yeah, am I on the fourth floor? Yeah, this is the fourth floor. I gotta keep track. So I think there's 7 floors to this. So the fourth floor. We've got the pool. Or royal bathhouse, however you want to say it. And it's just a very shallow, 1 block deep pool. It's not really meant to go diving into. There's another leak up here. Explain that later. But you've got men's showers in here, and there's just 4 showers in a tiny little nook with more toilets back here. So the men can wash off before getting in or out of the pool, or after getting out of the pool, rather. And then the women's showers are the exact same layout. Nothing special with any of these. Basic rooms. One thing I do like about this, I put the pool furniture all over the place, and then you got one of the big front windows. This actually looks straight down into the cathedral, so you could almost see what's going on down there. Almost. And then you just got these bigger windows here that look out over the various parts of the kingdom. Half of the Joker out there, apparently. But that's it. Nothing else in here. In terms of what is inside the 4th floor. And then over here we've just got another apartment. Let me shut that door. This here is the priest's quarters. The priest who oversees the cathedral would live in here. I put another font of like holy water, I guess, in the apartment so the priest could have that, and then another same bathroom. All the bathrooms are like identical. There's nothing different about the bathrooms at all. It doesn't really get more interesting until you get further up. Now we'll get up to the 5th floor, and this is the cool floor in terms of what's up here, because on this side you've got the throne room. Throne room's on the 5th floor. And you've got basically a 3-story throne room up here. All done out of nether brick and things, and you've got this cool walkway surrounded by water. That's what's leaking into the pool area below. And then you've got the thrones here for the king and the queen to sit on and do their thing. And then you got another big window here that also kind of looks down into the cathedral a little bit. Now you're starting to get a better view of like the sword, pickaxe, and things like that. The village over there with where Pixel Park is. And now this door in the back is the royal staircase. I will show you that in just a bit. And then on this side is the blacksmith's quarters. So the guy that oversees the forge, guy or gal that oversees the forge. The other thing I did different with this is I put a mini forge in. Other than that, the bathroom's even the same. I'm not even going to go in there. You've seen it all when it comes to the bathrooms this time around. 6th floor. Now you've just got an open balcony looking into the throne room. And then you've got the jailer's quarters, so the warden of the dungeons would live in here. it's the same damn apartment. I'm not gonna spend too much time in there. The throne room, and this time you can kind of see the cool chandelier hanging in there. A little tougher to see the thrones from up here, though. Now that I am thinking about it, I should probably move this railing forward 1 block. Big old chandelier up there. So the first thing we'll do is we'll have the butler's quarters. And this is the person that tends to the royal family. They have their apartment in here. So you've got a little living room sitting area with a big old painting of a lady and a creepy pig. I never liked that painting, but it is what it is. And you've got a little reading area, and then the bed is here. And then the butler has got like the biggest bathroom I've ever made. I didn't intend for it to be this big, but it kind of ended up. You got a tub here that's almost as big as a freaking swimming pool. A sink and a toilet. So that's the butler's area. Nothing special there. And then the royal quarters are in here. This is the royal apartment, rather, is what I labeled it as, apparently. But you come in, and the first thing you got is this living room with like a kind of a chandelier thing up here. You've got a fireplace. You've got a little sitting area here. Then you come in, and there's a dining space with another chandelier and a table for the royal family to sit at and eat their meals. Then you got the royal hallway here. I kind of put a recessed ceiling in. First thing I'll show you is the royal children's quarters, so the prince and princess, or princesses or princes, doesn't really matter, whatever, the children would have their room in here. You got a couch, sitting area in front of a fireplace. I put a jack-o'-lantern in just because it's a kid's room. Why not have a jack-o'-lantern? Window here, you've got a nice view of N7 Lake. Then in here is their bathroom, so you've got a toilet, a sink, and then kind of like a recessed tub underneath a Donkey Kong painting, apparently. I remember how surprised I was when I first put a painting down and it popped up being Donkey Kong. It was pretty cool. See, there's their bathroom, and then this is designed as a loft. So you come up this little staircase, and there's another sitting area, and the children's beds are up here. So they sleep in the loft, and then their living quarters are down below. Now, we'll head into the royal suite where the king and queen are, or would be. And you've got just a fireplace with a sitting area. I put 2 dogs in here and such. My friend John actually put 1 dog when this thing was still a shell of a building. He put a dog sitting up here underneath 1 block of glowstone. And so I brought in another dog so I could have a friend, and then just built everything around him. But you got this canopied bed up here. A little area here to read, a desk, and then their bathroom is in here. You've got another big old tub, recessed ceiling, and 2 sinks and a toilet, and then a nice view. There's N7 Lake again, and Pixel Park. Very cool, very cool. I forgot about some of the views in this building. So now we're winding up the tour with the royal staircase. And this is designed, it connects the throne room directly with the royal quarters. So the king and queen don't have to mingle with the other crowds in the atrium to get to the throne room. They can just come down here. It's a bit of a winding staircase. But it takes them straight to the throne room so they can just do their business. And then at the end of a day, listening to requests, running the kingdom, whatever, they can go that door, up the stairs, into their quarters, and not have to be bothered at all by anybody else. And so now we will head all the way down to the first floor and take in the royal courtyard real quick. Nothing really special at all, just a single fountain and some seats. And then it connects back into the main wing, the front wing of the palace. And so that's the grand palace in a nutshell, guys. And I'll actually kind of show you a cool, interesting tidbit here. Around the back side of the palace here, when you've got this this slanted area right here, That part of the building is where the royal staircase is crammed into. It was this weird little shaft that ran up the building, and I didn't know what to do with it, and that's where I crammed the royal staircase in. So that's where the royal staircase is, to connecting the throne room and the royal apartment. But that's it for the palace, guys. A very basic design. I was a novice when I built it, but I'm still pretty proud of it. As always, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and until next time, this is Swex signing out.